So we're going to talk about the challenges, the solutions, and the benefits of project-based CPQ, configure price quotation, for complex manufacturing industries. A complex manufacturing industry is a company that makes something that's pretty complicated. Could be infrastructure, transportation infrastructure, could be complex detection equipment, could be transmission equipment, anything that's very asset intensive, expensive, and complex. And what you'll notice about complex products that are being manufactured is they're not often the same. So, whereas a laptop, there's so many variances between laptops, and the cars, a bit more variances between cars. As you go up from there and get to more expensive and more complex products that are being manufactured, they become more and more distinct. So the challenges that they face when they're trying to put together quotations and bids and proposals, the number one challenge is blending that engineer to order aspect with the make to order and the configure to order. So on the one hand, those companies are producing things repetitively. They have factories, they have production lines, they've got a core product that they've designed and they repeat and they produce, and that's the make to order. And then they're probably configuring the product as well, so they're making different colors, different materials, different finishes, different quality inspection levels. There's different aspects about that product that they're making, so that's your configure to order. And at the same time, at the complex end, you've got a lot of engineer to order. Engineer to order is when it's unique. It's when the customer says, I want that, but I want it stainless steel. I want that, but I want it to be radar detected. I want that, but I want it to be operating in the desert. I want something about it that's unique, and you haven't done it before. And I'm coming to you as a specialist because you're the expert in this area. And now suddenly you're into a new space. The other challenge is around the collaboration. Often, especially when you're selling an expensive product, one that's $1 million plus, you've got multiple people working together to estimate the cost and to price the product. If it's $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, suddenly you need 20, 30, 40, 50 people working on an estimate. Maybe they're spread around the world, they're all working on different time zones, and they've all got to collaborate. The challenge of putting together a proposal now goes from a simple tool which one person can operate quickly to a much more complicated collaboration. The third challenge, which is somewhat unique to complex manufacturers, aerospace and defense companies, what they're selling is very hardware intensive. So whereas most people on an engineer to order basis would turn to a project management tool, they might go to Excel, they might go to Microsoft Project, they put in their labor, they put in their hours, they come up with a plan. That doesn't work when you're selling 80% material hardware. Now the bill of material, which is the indentured product structure or the configuration of the product, becomes super important. Picking up the latest engineer to standard from engineering, blending in some proposal or sales BOMs that are created on the fly, doing some similar to aspects, that's the whole challenge then. And that's something project management tools don't do. So what Twenty5 does is project CPQ. It's subtly different from services CPQ in that it does cover services, of course. Labor is a big part of engineer to order estimating. But the important thing that Twenty5 brings to the table is the material aspect, the hardware or the bill of material that you need to estimate your engineer to order part of the project. So Twenty5 operates like a project management tool, a sales tool, CPQ tool, and also a bit like an ERP system in its own right. So the outcome of that is that you can put together complex proposals that maybe use global teams, which blend aspects of engineer to configure to order and make to order together in a single proposal. Now you're doing a single bid with everyone working in one tool, a single version of the truth. And the other benefit is when you come to deliver that project. So whilst you're making your make to order, even your configure to order, you've got a pretty good idea what it's going to cost. You've made it before 100 times. With engineer to order, it's not. So it's much harder to know, are you making any money on this? By blending together the proposal, pre-award, and the project that was used to generate that proposal with the actual project you're delivering in the execution phase or the delivery phase, you can now start to track, how have I performed against my proposal? And the question that you'll ask, did I make money on this deal? Did it come in above or below what I estimated? Did I make the margin I estimated? Those questions can finally be answered.